Well, I've been passionate about art since very early childhood.
Everything
I don't
changed.
have money, but I'm happy.
Happiness came,
Yeah.
money disappeared.
I can't say they supported me since the very beginning, as I wanted to study art,
Yeah.
and my family suggested me to study business first and then decide.
How does it feel to have a space like this dedicated to artists?
But she said it can kill your style, so better keep creating.
Figurative is closed for a week. The gym is closed for a week. The stable is closed for a week. The airports are closed for a week. You can't travel. What would be the fourth thing that you're doing? Not even sleeping, something else.
Would you just
Welcome to another episode of Chase Those Dreams. Today, we're exploring the world of figurative art with a very special guest, Yana Pagul. Based in Dubai and originally from Russia, Yana's ethereal depictions of women go beyond the surface to reveal the beauty of the soul. Since childhood, Yana has been passionate about painting, honing her skills through years of dedicated practice. With a strong foundation in academic drawing and classical painting, her intuitive process has led to richly layered oil paintings that capture deep emotions and the essence of the human form. Join in as we delve into Yana Pagul's artistic journey, her creative process, and the stories behind her soul-stirring works. Stay tuned, and let's chase those dreams together.
Hi, Anna.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. And you?
I'm doing well too. Thank you so much for making time to come on the podcast.
Thank you
And
for coming.
and especially I think coming to a space which is now yours, you have made it yours, which is I think one of those amazing things that happened to you this year.
Yeah, this is, I think, the best thing happened to me in
Yeah.
the last couple of years, actually.
That's so good to hear. Like as an artist, when these things keep moving, I think that's when we realize we are in the right direction.
It gives a lot of inspiration and power to work, to create.
Because I ask this question a lot to artists. I feel there's a time or something happens where they decide that this is what they want to do. So when and how did you decide that art was something that you love to do as a career?
Well, I've been passionate about art since very early childhood. So it was like, I think the pencil was the first thing I was holding in my hand. But consciously realized that I'm gonna do it for all my life. I think unconsciously I knew it since the beginning, but it took some time for me to become brave enough to take this decision. So since 2019, I'm not doing anything else.
Like you said, it's brave because choosing something like this is not easy because you don't know what comes out of these things, right? Because so much patience, so much time get put into creating art. Is it the fear that will you be able to monetize from art, or is it whether people are going to love your art? Is that the fear you feel?
No, I think it's more stereotypes and stuff like that. Because once you're growing up with the mindset that artist is not a profession, all artists will die poor and become famous only after their death.
Yeah.
Yeah, in this case, it's a kind of inner conflict, I would say. And only after some period of time when you realize that nothing else makes you happy, like you don't need money at all. Because I used to work in office and I've been in depression that time. And after I realized that I hate my job, I don't need this money, it doesn't make me happy. So once I switched my career to art,
Everything
I don't
changed.
have money, but I'm happy.
Happiness came,
Yeah.
money disappeared.
Yeah.
But I think money also will automatically come, but I think that's when, it takes a bit of time. That's where I think we creative people always lose on so much time before we make money. Coming back home from Russia, where there is so much opportunities also for creativity, but is that something back home that would be supported? Either it's your parents, or either it's your friends, or either it's your families that understand that art can be somebody's interest?
I don't want to compromise my plans. No, honestly, it's from my family. I don't have anyone creative. I know it's easier for people who have this kind of professions in some relatives and stuff, but for me it's my choice, and I can't say they supported me since the very beginning, as I wanted to study art,
Yeah.
and my family suggested me to study business first and then decide when I will be more like
Yeah.
adult. But once I took this decision, at least they didn't stop me, and now they actually support me. I think it should take time so my family can see that art is something serious for me and I'm useless at something else.
The reason I asked is because, every creative person, this either it's runs in the family somehow, like the grandfathers or the grandmother or some generation has done something, and it then passes on to the coming generations, or it's somebody within the community that you have seen, and then you're like, oh, I want to become an artist. Oh, there's always that kind of a thing. But you didn't have anyone that you looked up around that time of your childhood?
It was a bit different stories. My father, he paints really well. He didn't learn it. He just naturally, he can draw and
Nice.
paint and does some portraits, which is very realistic. And for him, it's natural. And for me, like my mom said that all my childhood I've been sitting and drawing. I didn't play, I didn't do anything else. It's the easiest way to make me busy, just to give me paper and pen.
Wow.
That's it. So after this, I went to art school when I was 5, and I loved it. But I haven't graduated because I was going since I was 5 until I was 18 with some breaks. And
Okay.
like I stopped for some period of time, then I came back,
Okay.
and I had the best teacher I ever had. Like
Wow,
she's
that's
amazing,
nice.
and we're still in touch. So I think she was the one who support me the most, because she let me come when I want, and if I didn't want to come, she didn't
Force you.
force me. And every time she was laughing. Like every time I come to art class, I look totally different. One time I can look all in black, another time I will come with makeup and all pink, and she's like, every time she's sitting and
Wondering.
thinking like what's gonna be next. And yeah, so she was the one who gave me like everything, all the knowledge. And actually she was the one who suggested me not to go to art institution.
Okay.
So as she said, like she could say only about Russia, but she said it can kill your style. So better keep creating. And when I was going to art school, some period of time I could come after school 5 times a week and spend like 4 or 5 hours there. And the funny thing that if everyone had some topic to work on,
Yeah.
I had a chair faced the back wall of the class, turned away from everyone, and she said like, do whatever you want. And then she was coming, showing me my mistakes, and I had to fix my mistakes. So this is the way how I was learned. And
Wow.
also I had some academic drawing classes like cube and all this stuff. So yeah, I've got all the knowledge, and I didn't get diploma because she said like if I will register every time once you're coming and leaving, like it's not serious. If you want to come, just come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she already knew that you are somebody who's too difficult to like capture and keep in one place. So she's like, okay, whenever
Yeah,
you
she-
feel like you're
She gave
welcome.
me that freedom.
That's amazing. I think that's also so important, finding somebody in your younger time to guide you the right way and not give you rules and regulations saying, no, this is how you do it. No,
Yeah.
this is exactly that. I think then it doesn't give you the freedom to actually experience what you want to do and what is your way of doing things. But I think you had an amazing.
Yeah, and that's why she said like don't go to higher
Yeah.
institute in Russia, because
Yeah.
you will learn how to do the still life, the nature and stuff.
Yes.
But once you graduated, you won't be able to do something different because your mindset will be just like fixed
Yes.
in some frames, in some rules, and you will see some mistakes and you will try to fix it, and it will get boring.
I think somewhere within you already knew that you didn't want to get into corporate, or you didn't want to get into a 9 to 5 job. I think within you already knew that you wanted to somehow do something different, which is getting into art. But I think the timing, like you said, you started in 2019 seriously doing art.
Yeah.
So I think at that point you were already in Dubai, right?
Yeah, I came in Dubai in 2013 to study at university. I've been doing art all this time, like all
Yes.
my life.
Yes.
But in 2019, I became brave enough to say my family, sorry, I'm not gonna go to
This
office
is my
anymore.
career. This is what I'm
Yeah,
gonna do.
this is like the only thing I'm gonna do in my life, and I quit my job. I was
Yeah.
just staying home and creating, and that's it.
So back home, for example, now after you have finished, you started at 5 until 18. You were going to
Art school.
art school. So have you been doing art like what you were doing now back home in Russia, and like actually sitting down, coming up with a concept, doing an art piece, and then showing it to maybe friends and family and getting any kind of feedback, whether this is good, this is bad, it sucks, or what was the kind of feedback you were initially getting for everything that you were doing?
It's hard to say now because that time I consider myself as a kid, and
Yes.
this art was like kind of immature. I didn't have my own style because my style came to me like in end of 2019, somewhere like at that period of time. Before I was looking for my style, and but I've been participating in some kids art exhibitions, and they
Okay.
took some places, even if I wasn't registered in the art school, but I was participating.
Yeah.
So the feedback was always quite good, but it was like hobby. Like
Yeah.
everyone considered it as a hobby,
Yeah.
and just like it's always for me. I can't say I was creating a concept or something. It was just. It can sound somehow crazy, but when I look at canvas, the picture comes to my mind. Like it's just like I'm blinking and I'm seeing it. That's
Oh.
it. Like you look at picture. So for me, it's like when I'm blinking and seeing the picture when my eyes are closed, and then I open my eyes, I can imagine this picture, I can remember this picture, and it actually stays in front of my eyes, and then I just start drawing. And for me, like I'm not paying any attention process. It happens like in kind of trance or meditation. So I can start, I don't remember the process, and I'm realizing when only once I'm finished or it's time to go home or something like that. But when I was studying at art school, then of course if you have some topic or if you have like still life, you need to do it properly, so you can see the picture which you need to do.
Yeah.
But with other paintings, it's just like I don't know how it comes.
So it was never connected to anything that happened to you before, or you saw something. None of that were
Well,
somehow connected.
I think everyone can get some inspiration from the things they see
Yes.
around, but for me it was never like I looked at something, I realized it, and when I decided to paint it. No, for me, I think maybe I've seen something, maybe it's stored in my memory, but when I'm painting, it's something unconscious, something intuitive.
Did your teacher tell you anything about this part where these paintings are coming to you, and you're actually like, did you have a chat with your teacher saying, this is how it is?
Well, that's why I think she said don't go to university. I think maybe that's it, because she said like some people need to learn the rules, and some people should avoid the rules.
Yeah.
Because I think she could see from my behavior and stuff that rules
We
gonna kill me.
That's why you are creating such amazing things which you have no rules for. Like, you are freely creating such amazing art. And you said art came to you. Like,
I think it came to me once I realized that this is the only thing I want to do. Because I've been trying different techniques, different styles, but it was, I can't say it was that natural. It was still, I was somehow concentrated and conscious about this. And once I decided that I gave up on my career,
no choice now.
yeah, it's like, let it live. So once I gave myself that freedom, then it started happening very unconsciously and naturally. And I think right now I won't be able to paint something else, even with a deep knowledge of academic art, of classic painting. I think my hand will
not move
that direction. I will get sick if I will do something different.
Is there a memory of that first work that you did, and when you looked at it and you were like, this is something that you would love to continue doing?
I think it was something moving my hand, and something was moving my hand, and then I liked what happened there. And once I was trying to repeat consciously, it didn't work. But once I let my hand move and I stopped thinking, I stopped concentrating, and I stopped, like, it was like meditation, just start happening naturally. And it's like my style chose me. It's like something or someone, or I don't know, something higher start moving my hands, start bringing these ideas to my mind. So I can't even say I create this art. I would say I'm kind of connector, like a provider. So it comes from somewhere and I provide it on a canvas.
The details of it still gives me a little bit of like goosebumps knowing how you create your art.
It's an interesting process.
It's an interesting process, very true.
It's like, I'm lost in time at all. Like when I'm creating, I don't know how much time I've spent. So it's something happening, especially here at studio. What I like the most, no time exists here.
Yeah.
I swear, it's like no time exists.
Yeah.
Once you open the door and come to the studio, maybe it's because of electrical light. And the light all the time is the same, and you
don't see the sunrise, sunset,
yeah,
nothing.
You don't see nothing. You're just going process, and then sometimes I go out and it's a deep night, it's a full moon, and I was looking at my watch and it's like it's really late, but I cannot even notice this time. So it's just like another universe here, just dissolving here.
Yeah. So I think, Yana, we spoke about how you naturally had the style choose you. And I think similar thing happened to you where I think Studio 13 chose you. How does it feel to have a space like this dedicated to artists, like wherein you just talked about how here you don't realize how the sun sets and rises, you don't realize how a day passes. So how important it is for an artist to have a space like this compared to doing art at home and doing art in a place like this? How does it feel? What's the difference?
Well, it feels great, and yeah, as I mentioned, like it happens very naturally. How I became a member of Studio 13, like I literally didn't do anything, it just came to me, and I'm so happy that it happened. Well, I used to have a studio at home before, and I had like huge studio, like everything was set there, but when you're working at home, it will be a lot of different stuff which bothers you, and you're less productive. Once I came here, maybe it's some energy at the studio. I believe it's energy of the studio. It gives a lot of motivation, inspiration, and I have a lot of ideas in my mind. And I just all the time thinking like, why it's not enough hours in a day? I want to do more art. I want to stay longer hours. I want to create more. And once you're surrounded with creative people, it also gives you some kind of energy, and you feel part of art, and it's being a part of kind of community. So this is great. And yeah, like once I decided to join, and for me, I got kind of responsibility. It's like let's say you go to work to office, you have no choice. And it can be like not the same story, but somehow you feel yourself like you have to go, you have a space. And for me, if I'm at home and I feel I want to create, and I have no choice. I brought all my art materials to the studio. I have nothing at home, only like a sketchbook. So I just wake up and I have this feeling that I want to go there. And weekends, weekdays, no matter when, I just want to stay here as long as I can. And I love when people coming around. So
you went to the holiday to Georgia, and whenever I'm talking to you, you're like, I can't wait to be back in Studio 13 so that I can come back and work in my space. That is, just imagine how much you just enjoy, being in your zone.
Yeah, and that's true. And I had a very nice vacation. I've been traveling with my brother. We had a lot of fun. But the last couple of days, I was just thinking like, okay, it's enough for me. I want to go back to work. Canvases are waiting for me.
All your art basically comes to you, right? For example, now you finished the current art piece that you're working, and then you're like completely done with it. So the next one, How does that process begin? Like,
Usually I'm trying not to start anything before I finished,
yes,
but I had an exception quite recently.
okay,
I'm still working on that canvas,
yes,
but I had a feeling that like I have to hold the charcoal, and I just take it. I came to that canvas. So this is just a very sketch and
yeah,
beginning. So, and it's just happened naturally. I was firstly thinking like I had some sketches in my sketchbook. Maybe I should do something from this sketchbook. But I don't know. I just came. I just start, and without sketch, without I just draw it, and now I can't wait to finish this artwork. I already want to work on that. And I said, okay, I'll do some sketch. One day it's sketch, it's okay. Next day it's okay. I will add some texture, just a texture. Now I'm thinking I will do underpainting today, and that canvas is waiting for me.
literally staring at you, saying, "When are you finishing me?"
Yes, it's like that.
Also, one thing I noticed, and I think a lot of the people who follow your art notice that most of your work is women.
And it
Like,
comes to me this way.
wanting to know, like, how is this leading to these things? Like, it's not just, you can't just say that this doesn't have a story.
There is no story in my mind. It just happened. And then over time, I can look at this differently. I can realize that it's somehow connected to the period of time. So I think it's maybe some of my feelings and emotions going out this way.
Mm.
So I'm not realizing it, but this kind of maybe therapy for me or whatever. So I think my
Outlet.
thoughts, my emotions naturally comes to my canvases, and I look at canvas over time, and then I can get some ideas why it happened this way, and then I can relate to some period of time or some events happening in my life, and it gives a story. And then some people look at this and something came to their mind, they also share their stories.
Yeah. Are you like an emotional person, or are you like how there's a standard norm that Russians are very strong and always but how do you feel? Like, are you an emotional person? Because you're an artist, you obviously has to have some level of expression, right? Like, does art give you that escape of hiding your emotions through that art?
I think so. I think it's just like one, as I said, it's for me as a meditation.
Yes.
And I just like start painting, and the rest of the world stop exist. There is nothing else except me, canvas, and oil. That's it. Nothing else exists. And yeah, I'm emotional person. Like most of the people think that I'm super calm and quiet, but actually I have a lot of emotions burning from inside. I'm good at not showing them, but as my family and very close friends knows, it's like I can be super calm for a very long period of time, but if something really annoying happened and this like
Earthquake.
huge, yeah, it's huge explosion, and better not to
Not.
check. Yeah.
So, as an artist for Yana now, you have come to a point where I think you have realized what you want to do. So, as an artist, what would be for you, your next bits? Do you want to start selling more of your art, or do you want to create more of art? Or
Well, of course, I would like to. I need to promote myself as an
Yes.
artist and stuff. But the problem is, I'm so bad with digital stuff. I cannot concentrate on this. I don't know how I'm concentrating when I'm creating. I can spend hours with a canvas, but I cannot spend 10 minutes on my laptop writing something, or I can't complete my website for more than a couple of years. It's just like I stuck there, because every time I open my laptop and decide that I lost concentration, I will do something else. I cannot just focus on this.
yeah.
So the only one thing I need to create, and I want to create, and I'm good at creating. The rest of the stuff, I dream it will happen naturally. I think something or someone will do it for me.
Is it like, I think that's also one struggle, right? Like now, like you said, the whole social media, how it works, how the website, because you need to promote yourself as well as an artist, because or else nobody knows you exist.
Yeah, this is the
Like-
worst part.
Exactly. So how, like now tackling these things now, end of the day, for every artist or a creative, money also plays a part, right? Like for us to survive, we need to
Yeah.
make money, right? Now, the only way to make money is either you put yourself out there and say, Yana, the artist, is selling her art, and this is how much, and this is what it is. So, if the social media game is not great,
I hope the miracle will happen.
there is certain pattern of colors pretty much, and like there's a lot of grays everywhere. I think most of the work right now, at least we are seeing there's a lot of grays. So is there a connection with gray that you have? Please don't tell me it came to you.
No, I'm just like, I'm always working in a limited palette.
Yeah.
So don't like when it's like in my art, I prefer to have very few colors.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's usually white,
Yeah.
black. Together it's
Yeah.
gray. That's it.
All that your Instagram has is Yana is in Studio 13, or she's either out on a stable on a horse ride, or she's at this. That's the only two things that usually you're spending your time at.
Sometimes gym.
Gym. Oh yes.
Yeah. Now it's more often than horse riding.
Apart from these things, now three things we noted down. Like if you had to do a fourth thing, Studio 13 is closed for a week. The gym is closed for a week. The stable is closed for a week. The airports are closed for a week. You can't travel. What would be the fourth thing that you're doing? Not even sleeping, something else.
I would be just sitting at home and waiting. Honestly, I will do some maybe sketches, maybe some other stuff, but I will just stuck at home and waiting when the studio will be open.
I want to become an artist. I don't know how. Like, I don't know what. I don't have the courage to try, or I don't know what art schools to go to. As an artist, what would you suggest to, a kid who's willing to and wanting to do this? What is that suggestion Yana would suggest?
Just let the things happen naturally. I think this.
I think that's what happened literally to you,
Yeah.
right?
Like once I was complicating and overthinking, nothing good happened. But once I decided, like, I gave up, let things happen as it should happen naturally without me putting any effort. Things start changing.
We have a living example here of
I would
somebody.
love to say, like, you need to work hard, you need to
Yeah.
spend a lot of time.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe from the side it looks like hard work. For me, hard work is something what you get tired of.
Yeah.
So I can't say that I'm working hard. I'm just enjoying the process and that's it.
So thank you so much, Yana, for making the time. And actually, because I know how much you hated actually for this day, but you made it. So thank you so much. It means a lot listening to your journey and also knowing how beautiful your journey has been. And for me, that was the reason I wanted to like share your story.
Thank you for coming.
Oh, it was so much. I think, what's going to come from here, I have a feeling that is going to be amazing things, because for you, art is so much of a passion and you deserve the good things coming your way. And that I think is going to follow. And you will, as always, figure out how to. That's for sure. So all the best. And thank you so much for being
Thank
here today.
you.